Hey everybody. So, I'm on the public trail near my house, right? This is actually my second time down here already. I don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. I had another interesting revelation last night, and it just, it's so freaking bad. But I don't know. You know, I've been kind of craving a smoke, like the last 2 days. No idea why. I haven't been drinking. Nothing's really changed besides the normal. I mean, everything's pretty normal, depending on your definition of normal. First time I walked down here, I didn't even bring the camera. I was just gonna walk until I felt like, I don't know, just gonna walk until I felt like I had a solution, or walk until I felt like I felt better. Surprise, surprise, there is no solution, there is no feeling better. So I'm just gonna keep walking. So I was sitting there, I walked down here once. I walked around to check out. Today's the last day before cleanup. So I walked down here to check around. And a handful of things I could have grabbed. I dressed kind of spiffy today. So I just decided, screw it. Even if I went and grabbed literally everything I saw and actually carried it back to the house or clipped the cords off of, it's probably a pound of copper. So I was like, you know what? It's a losing battle. It's busy work. It's busy work. It's something to make me feel like I'm doing something. Because in reality, I'm not. In reality, I might be making money, but who am I doing it for? The money I'm making isn't enough to change anything. I'd have to do this for 50 years to get enough money to actually make any kind of a change. And that's granted nobody takes it from me. So, why bother? It's so hard. Like, it's so freaking hard. My brain is telling me, give up. Just forget about it. Just give up. You're never going to win. Nothing's ever going to change. This world is the way it is. People are the way they are. And you will be dead and gone before anything truthfully changes. And I wholeheartedly believe that. But, I guess my spirit, my soul, my essence, whatever you call it, whatever makes me me, is like, you can't end it. So you basically have two choices. You do the bare minimum, lay there and take it like a boot, or you fight back where you can, when you can, and, see if you can make any kind of a change. Both are frivolous and failed attempts, but, feeling like I'm fighting back is at least feeling like I'm doing something. So, that's kind of where my headspace is, I could tell everybody the future, the world's future, my future, but without the power being in the right place, the people taking it seriously, and the people changing, it won't make any amount of difference. So, instead of being depressing this whole time, I'm going to tell you what my initial thought was when I left the house. So my initial thought was, I'm going to walk to Sheetz and buy a frozen chai latte. Now, that's not a horrible idea, and I probably can. I already thought about it, and I was like, even if I walk all the way down there and don't feel like walking back, I can hitch the bus. Like I said, I'm not making enough money to make a change, but I still have that money, so it's kind of nice. Side note, interesting little side note real quick. I had to take a little bathroom break, so I wanted to, I might be wrong, but I think this is in fact poison ivy. I might be wrong, but with the waxy 3 leaves with a red tinge, that very well could be poison ivy. They also could be saplings of a, oak? Yeah, it wouldn't be oak. I don't know. It also could be saplings. But, that's kind of what poison ivy looks like. I think the leaves are typically less rugged and more smooth, so I'm probably wrong, especially considering the stalk. But if you see a plant that looks like this, that's what you want to stay away from. That is wild strawberries. They're good to eat, but they don't get very big, and the birds usually get them and the chipmunks before people do. I have seen a few wild ones, but they're like, you know, pinky size, tip of your pinky. They're rather tasty most of the time, but it's not a whole lot of food. So now, actually walking out here and actually thinking about it, I don't think I'm going down. Like, I don't think I'm going to go all the way down there and get a... I thought it'd be a cool idea, but it seems like anything I want to do, first off, I'm doing it alone, which, you know, like I said, I have a big love-hate relationship with being alone. It's a double-edged sword. There's some really good perks, and there's some really bad drawbacks. Secondly, my ankle feels so much worse when I walk on roads. So, even though I'm taking this trail about 1/4 of the way there, it's still like 4 miles to get there of road walking. I could take a bus to get down there, and then take a bus to get back, but that's $3.50 just to go buy a $4 drink. Just doesn't seem logical. So I just, like always, I just do without. It's not like it's really game changing anyway. Well, like nothing I do is game changing. Plus yesterday, even though I got kind of insulted, I feel insulted by what happened yesterday, but it was still quite a long hike. It was still probably 6 miles, a large portion of it being uphill. So I'm in no rush to take another big hike. Even if it is, you know, all on roads, I can take a bus back. I think it'd be a good idea to just take a break today. Unfortunately, tomorrow's the last day for cleanup, and I want to go around, and that's kind of what the plan is. And I kind of want to go grocery shopping, but now it's kind of late for that. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. Like, I just don't know what to do. Just lay around all day, get fat, get lazy. Don't talk to anybody, because God forbid. and wait to finish getting old. Wait to finish dying. Wait to finish becoming a lump. Yeah, it is what it is. There's a lot of chipmunks back here. I walked back here earlier. I think I scared like 24 of them. I don't know. Like, I wasn't even going to shoot this video, because I was like, why would I? But I was like, long and short of it is, if I decide not to go get a chai latte, I can at least justify taking another walk down here by actually shooting a video. Which I don't even know if that matters either. It's like a really bad joke or a really bad dream, except you wake up or you hear the punchline and you find out it's all actually true. And you're like, why? How? And I do realize that in the past, things were worse, especially for people that were considered a lesser class. Things were worse back, and they only kind of got better, I suppose, from what history books have taught you. But it's just, it's clear history repeating itself. And the only person you can, well, I can't even say that. I was going to say the only person you can change is you, but that's not true either. They lie to you. Groundhog. He's a fatty. And, yeah, they lie to you. Unless you grow up in a certain circumstance, you're sculpted to be something. You might think you have a choice. You might think you're given free will. It's basically how loose or tight they hold the reins. Like, for instance, me coming out here and talking like this. I think the only reason I can do it is because, even if this is legit, and even if people can actually see this, people would just think I'm either a lunatic, or they'll agree with me, and be like, well, he's right. The world does suck, but there is nothing we can do about it. It's a double-edged sword. It's like people that are... Let's talk about the Church of Scientology. I don't know much about it. I know Tom Hanks is a person that kind of started it and funded it, I suppose. He's a fairly famous actor. He's a little bit on the older side now, so any younger people that are watching this might not completely know who I'm talking about, but, ask your parents. Tom Hanks is relatively a big deal. So, he started this Church of Scientology, and, everything I heard about it is that they're pretty much a bunch of lunatics, in which you think to yourself, a guy with a lot of money, a lot of power, a guy with a decent amount of money, a decent amount of power, and a decent amount of influence puts together a group that has a different thought than mainstream society and is automatically shot down. Now, is that because mainstream society shot him down? Or is that because he's legitimately a lunatic? So, for instance, if I manage to convince 100 people that there's either some sort of conspiracy or something, there's some sort of conspiracy or the world itself is just wrong. If I was able to convince, let's say, 100 people, and let's say those 100 people were able to convince 30 people each, and a handful of these people are fairly wealthy benefactors. I would be willing to bet that we would be branded a cult, branded nuts, and completely read off. And it would be spammed on social media, it would be spammed on the YouTubes, it'd be spammed in the news, that another block, religious, I don't know, I should have thought about this a little bit, had a more clever name, but, another block of the underclassmen. The underblock peon group. The another block SOL faction is starting a new radical, left-wing, whatever, they're some sort of crazy terrorist group or conspiracy theorists or complete nut jobs. So a majority of people would automatically think that that's what you are. So for instance, I don't even know where I'm going with this. I actually just started to ramble. It makes me feel better when I ramble. For instance, in my small town, I grew up, still here. I left, came back, but ended up back here. Fan-freaking-tastic. Absolutely hate it. But, like the friend thing, it's a double-edged sword. There are some good things about being in a place I know, but there are a lot of bad things being in a place I know. Anyways, so if somebody showed up here that was, let's say you're in school, 7th grade, English class, and your 7th grade English teacher chooses a kid in the room and tells everybody he wets the bed. Just for no good reason. Just because he's a sick person. And he just decides he wants to completely ruin this kid's entire high school career. So, that teacher, because he's higher ranked, and whether he's looked up to for good or bad reasons, spreads this rumor. Of course, he might get in trouble for it. He might, there might be some kind of repercussion. But by him saying that, the damage done to that kid's reputation for a very long time, for at least the rest of his high school career, maybe longer, depending if he never makes it out of the town he lives in. That's, that kind of depends on how fickle and I can't think of the word, sorry. I just can't think of the word. What's the word when somebody, holds on to something like that? Either way. So, pretty much, this kid's gonna be degraded, picked on, and it'll snowball. It'll be a snowball effect. So, that kid's complete social parameter in the high school will be depleted to zero. So, he might be smart. He might do okay. He might hold on to a few friends. But, there's people that are never even going to talk to this guy. There's people that never met him, never knew him, never said 2 words to him. They're going to be like, oh, look, there's that bedwetter kid. So, you get what I'm saying? So, maybe Scientology is a bunch of crackpots. Maybe my ideas are completely insane. Maybe what I'm seeing, what I'm saying, what I'm doing is, the workings of a madman. But what if it's not? What if somebody that has some level of respect, some level of authority, just decided to pick a random person or a random group and badmouth them into oblivion? Would that be... I don't know what I was going to say. I had an idea and it is gone. So, now, like I said, I'm not 100% sure what happened to get me into this situation. And with my father being the way he was, and my mother being the way she was, and how my family treat each other, over a period of time, I didn't have a lot of friends to begin with. So, when I actually got my own personality and got my own idea of freedom, there there was already large portions of people that already had their idea and opinion made up of who and what I am. And there's no combating that. Like, there's not really any combating that in a small town. The only way that things would really get better for me would be for me to leave. But there's no reasonable way of me leaving, so that's not going to happen. Somebody more powerful being like, okay, you know what? This garbage that's enough. You know what? This guy, he did his job. He worked hard. He's been trying to move on with his life. Whatever grudge you people are holding, it's over. And prove my competence and innocence. And I don't see that happening, because I have a feeling that nobody wants to stick their neck out for the loser. Why would they? I do sometimes, but that was back when I had a little bit of confidence and a little bit more backbone and bravado. I don't know. All right, you know what? We're back at the lookout. Yeah, I obviously I decided I'm not going to get a chai latte. So, I don't know. You know what? No one of importance is ever going to hear this. I'm pretty sure of it. I'm pretty sure the only reason I'm allowed to do this is because nobody's going to be able to do anything about it. So, I don't know. It's nice to keep the thought. The illusion. The illusion makes me feel a little better, I guess. You know, thinking that maybe someday my word will get out there. Maybe someday people will see the proverbial light. That, like I told my aunt and my grandmother and everybody else that seems to have some sort of pony in this race. No matter what happens, whether it gets worse or better, I'm never going to get my life back. I'm never going to get all those years back. Like, that's something that, you know, that's something that I lost forever. All the things I should have been doing, all the ways I should have been growing up, all the different people I should have been interacting with, that's gone. That's something I will never get back. You know, there goes that should just accept it idea. I don't know. I had something better to say. It slipped my mind already. Even if my name got cleared, you still have those people that'll hold on to it forever. Like, for instance, alright, I am far from enemy-less. I had a few problems with girls' boyfriends and some guy that I got subpoenaed to go to court over. So I have enemies. And people like that, whether they understood why I made the decisions I made or didn't, they will hold on to that grudge for a very long time. It was actually a few years later I found the guy that I got subpoenaed to go to court over, and he's like, oh, if we weren't in the bank, I'm gonna kick your ass. And I'm like, okay, dude, you know what? I was like, first off, you're going into the bank, and I'm on the sidewalk. We're gonna do this. Let's just get it over with. Secondly, I was like, I got subpoenaed to go to court. I know your thug mentality might not, give you the knowledge of what a subpoena is, but it's when somebody's forced to testify against somebody, and if they lie, legal repercussions could be brought against them. So if you thought I was going to lie for you when I was already doing something I didn't want to do, you know, you're even more brain dead than I thought. Now, don't get me wrong, this guy, he's twice my age. Well, not now. He was twice my age. Now I'm old. But he was like twice my age, and he was probably, okay, so I was like 25-ish. He was probably 45-ish. And he was like easily 3 times my size. And I was working out, and I was like in fairly good shape. But there was likely no way I'd win a fight against him. Like, it'd be highly unlikely. Not impossible, because I was very strong and very young. But he did, like, manual labor, like, a lot. So, you know, his physique showed it. So, likely he probably would have stomped me into the ground. I like to be optimistic, think I had a chance. But I think that's one thing that gets me into trouble, too. Thinking I have a chance. Oh my gosh, a gray squirrel graduated from chipmunks. You guys probably can't even see that. Alright. Now I'm done rambling. I may or may not post this. I don't think I said anything bad. Like I said, it probably doesn't even matter. It's probably, you know, I'm probably talking to a freaking paperweight that I'm carrying down a hallway, and I don't even know any different. I don't know. I think I figured out why I'm here, and it's not good. I think I figured, or at least I was granted some knowledge and some idea based off of my surroundings of why I might be here, and it's not good. It's really not good. And I don't really have a way out. Like, I know I'm beating a dead horse here, but the only real way out would be to grab a bag and leave. And I don't have the money, youth, energy, drive, motivation, or direction to pull something like that off. Even if I grabbed a bus ticket and just went somewhere random, I might be okay. But, you know, I already have these here grains of doubt of who I could trust and who I can't trust. And going somewhere that I don't know anybody might have me in like this here paralyzing fear of not talking to anybody or trying to figure out anything or moving on or talking in any capacity. So, you know what? I'm done talking. If you don't get the picture, if you don't kind of understand by now, then you're obviously not actually watching my videos, or you never saw them in the first place. I don't know. I'm just trying to, like I said, in a way I kind of got bad news, and in a way I'm kind of just, I don't want to lay around and just dwell on it. So, moving on. Catch you later.